Hi guys, so I wanted to make a video about how to get your first client because I think that a lot of people obviously struggle with this, and it's actually, I'm just going to give you some guidance and advice. You don't have to take it, but if you're still struggling getting your first client and what you're doing is not working, then maybe this will be helpful. So this is a table of contents. We're going to talk about how to choose your niche, how to prospect, how to design the perfect offer, how to cold call. And on the next video, I'm going to help you create your first demo call presentation. Let's get started. How to choose your niche. So I think at the beginning, before you even choose a client, you're going to have to choose a niche or a few niches. So here are some things that you should consider if to help you choose a niche. Think about the average customer value. You want a high customer value. So for example, orthodontists, dentists, how much do their average customer uh, pay for their service? So if you do orthodontists, it could be more than $1,000. If you do dentists, and you're helping them, with we teeth whitening or teeth cleaning, it could be upwards of $200 depending on where you live. So you want to choose something that's high. I wouldn't go for anything below $1,000 personally, because well, you know that they have money, you know that they're making money, and bringing them customers will be something a little bit more, specialty. Then think about your previous experience. So if you've worked in a similar industry, it'll be easier for you to know the pain points, and so therefore you'll be able to easily sell this service to those clients because you'll be able to talk about their pain points a lot easier. Therefore, you'll be able to sell better. So if you understand the pain points of your customer and you're able to articulate it, chances are you're going to be able to sell this very easily, right? The more familiar you are with an industry, the more you can talk about it, the more confident you can talk about it, then, the more you'll be, the higher the chance you'll be able to land that client. Obviously, look into your network because you want to make it as easy as possible. So looking into, your friends. Do you have any friends who are dentists? Any friends who are accountants? Any friends who work, in anything, right? Any service industry? You want to reach out to them. That's probably the easiest way to get your first client through your network. Then maybe think about the type of people that you like working with, and create your customer avatar. So, for example, me, I like to work with individuals. So I want to work directly with the CEO. I don't want to be, working with any managers or any sort of thing. So I want to choose a small business and that person who is actually doing the service. Your interests and strengths. So you want to think about what is something in the delivery service that you are more confident about. Do you love to create ads? What type of ads do you like to create? Right, like what if you're interested in design or marketing, where are your strengths? And then choosing the path of least resistance, basically a niche that has no gatekeeper. So what I mean by that is the person you're going to sell to is a person, or the decision maker is also the person that's doing the work, and they're also doing the customer service. So if you want to reach out, if you want to do cold calling as your outbound marketing, then maybe you don't want to go for dentists because usually you have to talk to a receptionist, right? So real estate would probably be a lot easier, right? Because you call them and they answer the phone and they're the decision makers. So here are some niches where the average customer value is upwards of $500. Then I have a link here where you can access all of them. I can also leave this presentation available for anybody who's interested. So here we go. Wedding planners. Wedding is a huge market that is often overlooked. Real estate agents, this is very competitive, very saturated, but you can make really good money and make some really great connections here. Luxury car dealerships, high-end furniture stores, all of these, honestly, guys, I would start there. Tip, know that you don't have to choose a niche. Try different businesses within different niches until you find the one that clicks for you, or you find, that perfect customer. Then you can niche down and master that niche for greater success. How to prospect clients. So there are multiple ways that you can prospect. You can use the Google High-Level Prospecting tool. I have a video about that. You can use Google. Just go on Google and put, dentists in my area. Look up in the map. Look at the phone number. Call them. Email them. Go to the place. Do whatever you need to do to get your first customer. But obviously, the easier way is going to be to go local. So in your area. So yeah, keeping your eyes up in your local area, asking questions to your network, in your network, and join business Facebook groups. You could join local business Facebook groups, probably be the easier way. And then just ask anybody, any of the businesses, if they have any, if they need any, or they have any, bottlenecks in their marketing, if, um, they're looking for somebody, maybe for a trial, that's where you can maybe offer your services and try different offers. The next thing that I would do is make a Google sheet. So you can start with a niche. So maybe try dentists, look up all the dentists in your local area, and then create a Google sheet where you put, just like I have here, company name, website, phone number, email, Instagram, conversion rate. So that's if you're using the Google High-Level Prospecting tool, it will show you the content, any notes. And then if you're doing cold calling, then I would use the website called Vocaroo, and you can record your calls. How to design the perfect offer. I mean, a lot of you will probably already be familiar with Alex Hormozzi's how to make an offer, sounds so great. The other person would be stupid to say no. So here we're going to talk about the principles of good offer, principles of value, adapting flexibility, and preparing your pitch. Components of a good offer. So once again, you can read the 100 Offers by Alex Hormozzi. The components are urgency, scarcity, guarantee, bonus, and naming. So I would highly recommend that you read that, to understand that. I'm not going to go over it. And try to understand this value equation. But in all reality, obviously, you have to offer more than the price that you are that you're selling it for. So the person has to think, the person that you're selling to has to feel like the price that they're paying is a lot lower than what they were receiving. So just just have to stack a bunch of bonuses basically to make that offer look or that exchange look incredibly valuable to the other person. Basically, do things for free. Have your main offer and then add little services there that you can add that don't require a lot of time, that are easy, or that you can just, one time thing, like making a presentation, making a Google sheet that they can use. Um, so understanding that is really important before you pitch your services or before you even prospect. Then for me, I will let you guys know that the way that I got my first client, all my clients have been, well, except for one, which was a referral through cold calling. And I strongly suggest that everybody start cold calling to get your first client. That will be the easiest way. I know it seems really, really difficult, and it's difficult for maybe people that don't speak English, um, you know, uh, fluidly, but this is definitely the way to go. And I can give you a few tips about cold. So basically, I'm going to create another video where I talk about cold calling. So the principles of cold calling that will save you time, mindset, attitudinality, and scripting. So I'm going to do a whole video on this. And then after that, I'm going to also do another video on how to set up your first demo call. So make sure you follow, subscribe, like, and thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one.